I can tell you how to make homemade baby food.
So today we're going to make homemade baby food, and we're going to make sweet potatoes, and we're going to mix them with
apples.
Apples, right. Okay, so the first thing we do is make sure we have all of our utensils and ingredients.
Yeah,
so
I need more ingredients so you won't get them mixed up.
Okay, so we're going to use a pot with a steamer basket. We're going to use a very sharp knife with a cutting board and a kitchen peeler.
A knife is only for grown-ups, but not for kids. And
we're going to be safe, right?
Yeah.
Only for grown-ups, right?
Yeah, only that for grown-ups.
Okay, we're going to use a strainer for our organic fruits and vegetables. We're going to try to use the ice tray, but in case we don't really figure that out, we've got the containers that the food is going to go and freeze in. We've also got our handy-dandy food mill, and of course a bowl.
These are the makers that help you make the food.
All right. Mommy? That's right, babe. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rinse our fruit and vegetables in cold water for about 30 seconds. We're going to go ahead and peel them with the kitchen peeler. Make sure you put all of your peelings aside so that they can be composted later.
Wait, Mommy, what to do that, right, Mommy?
That's right, buddy.
Oh. Yeah. So what? Asa in the interview.
Abraham, do you think Asa likes sweet potatoes and apples?
Yes. He likes the sweet potatoes and apples.
Does he eat them all the time?
Yeah, but hope he eats it.
Do you like sweet potatoes and apples?
Yes, I like this sweet potato because I love it when it gets hot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I love when it gets cold and hot.
Yeah.
Every day with the apples.
Oh, yeah.
I make sweet potatoes.
What's your favorite food, Abraham?
I feel bananas, blueberries, strawberries, and coconuts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I like those.
You like those?
Yeah, I like it.
How old are you, Abraham?
There's 4 young ones. There's like wonderful ones.
All right.
There's like Thomas and sisters.
Water going? So that way, once you're done peeling, you just peeling and cutting, you can throw everything on the stove. Abraham, I'm all done peeling the sweet potatoes now. Thank you for the apple.
You're welcome. Is there an apple you can cut out? Use the line.
Do you want to go play now, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, see
Go
you later.
play. Let's go play. Wait, we've got our candy trees.
So now that we got our apples and sweet potatoes peeled, we're going to cut them into half-inch pieces. Make sure that you get rid of the core of the apple because you don't want to feed your baby any apple seeds. Okay. So we're just about done cutting up all the apples and sweet potatoes, and I hear the water rumbling. So once we're done cutting them all up, we're going to throw them all into the steam basket and throw them on the stove. Sweet potatoes take about 5 to 7 minutes. Apples take a little bit less time, and I just put them on top. Mostly you just make sure that the fork can pierce through the sweet potatoes, and then you know that they're done. Go ahead and throw them into the stove in the steam basket. Cover it up tightly with the long lid and watch it go. Set the timer for about 8 minutes. Alright, so the timer just went off on the the steaming vegetables, so we're going to just pierce the sweet potatoes with the fork to see if they are soft. Yep, and the fork goes right through. So now it's time for them to come off and we can put them through the food mill. We're going to take them out of the steaming basket and bring them over to the food. So now it's time to put the food in the food mill. The reason why we're using the food mill for the sweet potatoes instead of the food processor is because the food processor will make it come out a lot more starchy. The food mill is just going to puree it and eliminate the starchiness from it. So I typically would have used a smaller food mill that you can get from Target in the baby section, but the last time we made this many sweet potatoes, it took about 5 or 6 go-rounds to get them all done, so I decided to use the bigger food mill. The advantage of having a large food mill like this in your home is so that during Christmas time or whenever you like to make fresh mashed potatoes, you can do them in the food mill. You can also make jams using the food mill and use it to eliminate all of the small little seeds and the different fruits. You can also use it for tomato sauce, tomato puree. They're very versatile. So the food mills are one of those handy dandy tools that you want to keep in your kitchen for years to come. Turn it in a clockwise fashion until all of the food makes its way.
Can I help you again?
Oh, you want to help me again?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's one of the smaller kinds of food mills you can find in the baby aisle at Target for $5.99 in case you don't want to invest in a larger food mill. So here's how you would use it to make the same kind of food. You'd open up, you're going to go ahead and put the food right into the center, dump it all in. About 4 or 5 times each time I was making a large batch of food, so I decided to invest in a larger one. You're going to put the bottom part on, and then you're going to just turn the mill. And every time you turn it, more food oozes up, and it's nice and smooth and ground, and it's ready for the baby to eat, just like that. And typically you can just take it from there and scoop it right into the container. This time we're going to use ice cube trays to put the food in. So we'll stuff it all later, but I just wanted to give you an example of how you could use a traditional, smaller, inexpensive baby food mill. Right now we're going to continue to mill the food in this larger mill until it's all done. You recording? Alright, so if it happens to get stuck at the bottom of the mill, you just do a counterclockwise, it'll scoop it up, and then you keep going. Okay, so now what a workout. Alright, now we're all set. We've got all the food that we want going through the mill. Put this all aside. Now we're going to go ahead and move the containers. So today, usually we use these containers. They're about 2 ounces. I got them on Amazon.com. I just looked up baby food storage, and these are BPA free. They're microwave safe, but I won't put my baby's food in the microwave. They're dishwasher safe, and they were fairly inexpensive. But I've seen a lot of Pinterest articles about using the ice cube trays. They're a lot more space saving, and apparently once they're all frozen, you can pop them out, put them in a Ziploc bag, and then you don't have to have 2 or 3 ounces. You can give them 1 ounce. And the good thing about this is that if you make multiple things, like if I just made plain applesauce, then I could combine the applesauce with any of the other things. So I'm going to go ahead and just put 1 ounce or so of the prepared food. 3. Just get the tray. Keep the tray. On them and put them in the freezer. So you can store them in the freezer for several weeks. When you take them out to thaw it out in the refrigerator.
Not up yet! Not up yet!
After you de-thaw them, you have to use them within about 2 or 3 days. Make sure that you put aside a portion of the food for the baby to eat out of, that he doesn't eat out of the container, in case you don't finish it all. You don't want to eat out of the container and then put it back in the refrigerator because you're leaving bacteria in the container. So that's it. Thank you for joining us. You want to say goodbye?
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you for joining.
Ah!